What is up? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? We are here tonight to discuss Dragon Ball Daima, episode 4 review and discussion. As always, there's going to be spoilers, and there's some interesting stuff in this episode that, when you look at it, it's like, okay, we got some more potential GT stuff going on here. We've got we got some foreshadowing for stuff that may come down the line, and I'm just gonna get right to it. So Fusion may be coming back. Fusion may be coming back in this series. However, it's gonna be a different kind of fusion than what we're used to. So, of course, in the past, we've been introduced to various types of fusion. Um, we've had, of course, the Namekian fusion that we've seen with Piccolo and Nail and Kami and the Universe 6 Namekians. We've also had absorption, like with Cell and with Boo. That's a type of fusion. There's also, of course, been the two most popular types of fusion, which is the Metamarine fusion dance that we got with Gotenks and Gogeta. And there's Patara fusion with the Patara earrings that has given us Vegito and fused Zamasu as well. So there has been a lot of fusion in the past, and now we've been introduced to a new fusion method. And this is very interesting because, again, I think it may tie into some more GT stuff. And we'll get to that here in a second. But yes, fusion is brought up in this episode. Fusion may be coming back. In fact, as a writer, I can tell you the fusion is going to come back in some shape or form. Guys, this is really very um, obvious foreshadowing. This is very obvious foreshadowing for a fusion character. What fusion character? I don't know, but we'll get to it. So here we are in Dragon Ball Daima, episode 4. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit surprised the episode went into the direction that it did. I know that I've talked about in streams, I've talked about on Katie's show that Glorio is a very Han Solo type of character. He's a very Han Solo-esque character. Yo, what's up, Tevin? How you doing? What's up, Tevin? I've talked about how Han Solo gives me or Han Solo. I've talked about how Glorio gives me a lot of Han Solo vibes. And so, of course, last episode, Glorio's plane was stolen by some demon thugs. And I thought, okay, he's going to be pissed. He's going to go after his plane. His plane is like his Millennium Falcon. He's got to get it back, man. He's got to get the Falcon back. All right. He's got to get his plane back. That didn't happen in this episode, which is honestly kind of surprising. He moves on. His plane is stolen and he's in shock. He's like, I thought I locked it up last night. But he doesn't go after the thugs that stole it. He doesn't try and find it. Nothing like that. I thought that's what this episode was going to be. I thought this episode was going to be Glorio and Shin and Goku trying to get the plane back. I thought it was going to be very Star Wars-esque in that sense, but we didn't get that. Instead, they decide to continue on to the King of the Third Demon World on foot. And this leads to some more hijinks, some more adventures, some more reveals, of course, Goku's like, hey, why don't we just fly there, instead of walking there? And of course, it's brought up again, like the atmosphere in the demon realm is very different. You would tire yourself out very quickly. You wouldn't have a lot of stamina to keep going if you just flew the whole way there. It's going to take quite a while. So they decide not to do that. They decide to go on foot, which is, this is fine. It's essentially a plot point. It's creating a plot reason as to why they're not able to really use their powers at full capacity. Which again is also very GT-esque because if you go back to Dragon Ball GT when Goku was turned to a kid, there was a couple of things that Goku could not do while as a kid, or he couldn't do them very well. Number one is instant transmission. As a kid, Goku in GT cannot use instant transmission um, to travel very far. I think he'd only get like a few feet away. So instant transmission was, already out of the picture when Goku was turned to a kid in GT. And then, of course, in GT, Goku could not use Super Saiyan 3 for a very long period of time. Now, of course, in Z, he couldn't use it for a long period of time either. But in GT, they made a specific point, like the stamina issues of Super Saiyan 3 are heightened even more in his kid body. And he could only use it for like, what, maybe a minute or so? Roughly a minute in GT. And they do something very similar here. However, I do need to point out, why hasn't Goku attempted to use instant transmission? Because the thing is, I mean, this is after the fight with Boo. Obviously, Goku has instant transmission. Why has Goku not used instant transmission? It's a little weird. Now, the thing is that instant transmission is based on ki. So the way instant transmission works is that Goku is able to sense someone's ki. He's able to pick up on someone's ki. And when he does that, he's able to teleport to wherever that key signature is coming from. So there has to be a key signature that he picks on. It's kind of like a beacon. It's kind of like a beacon that he follows using instant transmission. And Goku can still sense ki in the demon realm, so that can't be the reason why. But I just find it weird that he hasn't tried to use instant transmission. Like, this seems like the type of episode where it's like, okay, we can't fly, so instead of walking, let me try and use instant transmission. But they don't bring that up. They don't acknowledge that. In the same way, Supreme Kai also has a version of instant transmission that doesn't require key signatures. Although I think, and I may be wrong about this, I may be misremembering this. So if I am, please correct me in the chat or in the comments. But Supreme Kai's version of instant transmission does not require him to need a key signature. Rather, he does have to visualize the location in his mind. So he actually has to know where he's going in order to use his version of instant transmission, which would make sense why he can't do it, because he's never been to the third demon world, so he doesn't know how to visualize any place here. That makes sense. But I do find it to be a bit of a plot hole where Goku doesn't bring up instant transmission. I feel like, again, like they don't actually have to use it. They don't have to utilize it, but they should have him bring it up, try and use it, and then it fails for whatever reason. But the fact that they don't bring it up at all is a little bit strange. So they can't fly, and he doesn't use instant transmission for some reason. So they end up going on foot for the most part. And what I did find interesting, speaking of key signatures, it's revealed in this episode that Glorio cannot sense ki. And it seems like people in the demon world are not even aware of what ki is. They have ki. They all have ki. Every living being has ki. Again, I could go into a whole spiel about how Dragon Ball ties into Taoism and Eastern esoteric teachings. But every living being has ki. So the demons also have ki, but they're not aware of it. They don't seem to know what it is, and they don't seem to be able to sense it, which is interesting because now that kind of explains why Glorio has a gun, why he uses a gun, why he has an actual weapon instead of utilizing ki. And that's because, maybe he can't. It seems like he can't utilize ki. So instead, he uses his gun. Now, what I find strange about this, though, is that Deborah was the supreme demon king. And we know Deborah could utilize ki. We saw it in the Boo saga when Deborah fought Gohan, when Deborah fought Boo. Obviously, when Deborah killed Kibito with the ki blast. So, Deborah, being the supreme demon king, he's fully aware of what ki is. He's able to use it. So, maybe it's just something that's exclusive to the third demon realm that they are not aware of ki. Maybe they're forbidden from using ki. Like maybe there's this thing in the demon world because again, in the demon realm we have the three demon worlds, and from the way that it seems to be structured is that the lower class demons are in the third demon world. Then you have higher class demons like apparently the Supreme Kai race, the Glen, come from the second demon world, and then you have the first demon world, and that's of course where the Supreme Demon King, who is currently Goma, was Deborah, reigns. So maybe in the other two demon worlds, they are aware of ki, they know what it is, they're able to utilize it. But maybe in the third demon world, knowledge about ki and use of ki is forbidden. That could be what keeps them oppressed. And speaking of oppression, there's a the ending of this episode is really, really dark. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But first, we have them traveling through the demon world, and they arrive at this location. This like this restaurant. Of course, Goku's pigging out and everything. He eats this freaking lizard, and I need to look at this dude's name. We talked about him in the last stream that we did, and we also I think we talked about him on the Katie stream as well. Um, there was this guy that I speculated from the trailer was in fact the king of the third demon world. However, we find out that's not the case, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm just gonna have to see if I can pull him up. Dragon Ball Daima episode 4 characters. Let's see what comes up here. Um, People already have power levels up the characters, really? Like we just started Daima. What's wrong with people? Let's see here. Uh, oh yeah, this episode was called Chatty, which makes sense because there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of dialogue in this, man. There's a lot of dialogue. Um, let's see. There's got to be. What's this character called? What is this character called? Yo, come on, come on. Yeah, it's like this demonic couple. Um, that we see, and I don't know where. I don't see the name here. I'm not seeing that name pop up in this review. I should have looked this. I'm sorry, my bad. Come on, where the hell is the name? All right, well, I'll just pull up the concept here. The Sky Seed is what it's called. So they're needing to find a way to get around the demon realm faster, and they end up boarding this thing called a Sky Seed. So let's see if the wiki's got something. Dragon Ball Sky Seed wiki. That's good. Here we go. Let's, this might this might give us the name. Um, they don't even have it on the wiki. What the hell? That's annoying. That's super annoying. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up. I'm just gonna have to look at the trailer. Oh, Dragon Ball Wiki, you slacking? You slacking over there? What the hell, Dragon Ball Wiki? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. What's happening here, Dragon Ball Wiki? What are you doing? Dragon Ball Daima. Um, Here he is. Right here's the character I'm talking about. I don't remember the dude's name. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But him and his wife run this store, and they have this thing called a sky seed, which is basically this giant plant, this giant flower stalk that they're able to ride on like a rocket. It's able to fly them like over great distances. And of course, this allows them to not have to fly themselves. They're able to keep up their stamina. And so they go to this guy, and he's a bit of an eccentric character. Again, I thought this dude might end up being the king of the third demon world. That theory is now out, but they end up using the sky seed from this dude, and this is where we start getting into. And I love this couple, man. Like this couple's so awesome. They're so sweet. They're so wholesome. It was cool. There was even like this funny thing where like he pretends like he can't hear very well. When Gloria brings up money, all of a sudden he can't hear well, and it's like, all right, dude. Um, so this brings up something interesting, and that is a concept. Again, we're talking about uh, fusion bonds. So Dragon Ball Diamond ends up introducing to a new type of fusion where you have this bug, this fusion bug, and you like one person eats like one half of the bug and another person eats the other half, and that'll cause them to fuse for a short period of time. And so obviously this is foreshadowing, guys. Foreshadowing for something that we're going to see later on, which is going to be a new fusion character. Um, and, and the thing is that I know people are coming out of here saying, "Oh, well, I guess we're going to be getting Vegito or Gochita," and there's already some. I mean, there's some chibi artwork out there that's being put. I even put a chibi Gochita on my thumbnail because, again, I think we're going to get some canonized version of Super Saiyan 4, whether it be like Super Saiyan Primal, Super Saiyan Demon. I don't know. We're going to get some kind of canonization of Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 4 esque form. So I put like a mini Gochita on there because I think the fusion is going to be Super Saiyan 4S. But the thing is about that is that there's people out there that are putting like you have Gochita mini out there. Uh, like people have like a Gochita mini in their thumbnails and stuff. Like right here, some fan art of like a Daima version of Gochita. And some people are saying it could be Gochita. Some people are saying that it might end up being, in fact, Vegito, Vegito Mini. We could be getting that in Daima. However, here's the thing. I don't think we're getting either. I don't think we're going to get either. All right. I don't think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get Gochita Mini or Vegito Mini. I don't think that's the fusions that we're getting in Daima. Because the thing is that you have to realize when it comes to the fusions, when it comes to how fusion characters are created, the type of fusions, they always create different fusion characters based on the type of fusion used. So when Goku and Vegeta use use the fusion dance, they become Gochita. However, when they use the Patara fusion, they become Vegeta. Now, of course, Goten and Trunks, when they use the fusion dance, they become Goten. However, if Goten and Trunks were to use the Patara fusion, they would not become Gotenks. they would become something else. They would become a completely different fusion character, like Trunkton or something. So we can assume that whereas Vegito is the resulting fusion of the Potara of Goku and Vegeta, and Gogeta is the resulting fusion of the fusion dance of Goku and Vegeta. This new type of fusion, if Goku and Vegeta fuse, should create a brand new fusion character. It should be somebody that's completely different from Vegito and Gogeta. And I was talking to Andrew over at XP Comics about this. We were talking in the DMs, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to jump on tonight because he's hosting Friends. I thought I was your friend, Andrew. What the freak, Andrew? What are you doing? No, it's cool. It's cool. We were talking about this, and we both kind of came to the agreement we think it's going to be a new fusion character. We were trying to come up with names. He came up with the name Vegiku, which of course is a combination of Vegeta and Goku, Vegiku. And I came up with Kakita, which is a combination of Kakarot and Vegeta. And either one I think would work. But I think that's what we're going to get. It's going to be a brand new Goku Vegeta fusion. It's not going to be Vegito. It's not going to be Gogeta. In fact, I don't think it can be Gogeta because according to the Super timeline, and this is canon to Super as far as we know, they never became Gogeta until the events of the Broly movie. So they never actually did the fusion. Yeah, I know you're late, failure. I know you're late. Why are you late? We started at 9. You're 22 minutes late. What are you doing? So to me, it seems to be implied like they never tried the fusion dance until the events of the Broly movie. So I don't think they can become Gogeta. Vegeto's a possibility, but I don't think they can become Gogeta. I just think it's going to be a brand new fusion. In fact, for the hell of it, let's just look up some fan art here of these possibilities. So let's look up Dragon Ball Vegiku. See what we get. All right, so here's some fan art of a potential Vegiku fusion. Looks like they've got like Vegito. Now, if you don't know, Vegito's name doesn't actually make sense in the English dub, and that's because in the original Japanese, Vegito is a combination of Vegeta and Kakarot. However, in the Japanese version, would it be wrong to blame my lateness on my race? I mean, you shouldn't hate your skin color like that, man. What are you doing? Self-hate ain't cool. What you doing? So in the Japanese version, Vegito's name actually makes a lot more sense because in the Japanese version, Goku's singing name, Kakarot, is pronounced and spelled Kakaroto. So the to at the end of Vegito comes from Kakaroto. However, in the English version, they do not pronounce it as Kakaroto. They pronounce it as Kakarot. So Vegito's name in the English version really doesn't make a lot of sense. However, in the English manga, Vegito is not actually called Vegito. Vegito is a name created for the English anime dub. It does not exist in the English manga. However, in the English manga, they still refer to Goku as Kakarot, not Kakaroto. So Vegito wouldn't make sense. Instead, they change it to where it's not Vegito, it's in fact Vegerot. In the English Dragon Ball manga, Vegito's name is Vegerot, which, given the pronunciation of Kakarot in the English version, makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense. So you end up with Vegerot. See right here, this is a panel. These are panels from the English manga. Uh, a warrior created by Patara Fusion, just like you. My name is Vegerat. Super Vegerat. So, and then of course, and I think they even continue this in the Super manga, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, it's Vegerat in the English manga, which honestly makes a lot more sense as compared to what we got in the English anime. Because Vegito just doesn't make sense in the English version. Makes perfect sense in the Japanese version, but not in the English version. So Vegerat would actually be a more accurate English version English version of Vegito's name. Make a lot more sense, actually. It's a Shinton style. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Yo, Shintani was the one. If you don't know, Shintani did the Broly movie, and God, that looks so much better than that plastic crap we got in Super. Anyways, I'm sorry. So yeah, we were talking about perhaps a Vegiku, or uh, Kakito, or Kakita, I should say. Kakita, my bad. So Vegiku, like that could be the name of the new fusion. We could be getting that. Um, because I don't think it can be Vegito, and I'm pretty sure it's impossible for it to be Goji because they never did the fusion dance until the Broly movie. So yeah, I think it's going to be a completely new fusion of Goku and Vegeta, which makes sense from a marketing standpoint because that's more toys, that's a new character, that's a new toys, that's a new action figure. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. We got to get that money, got to get a payday, and people are going to eat that shit up. I'm going to eat that shit up. I am. I'm going to go out and buy a Vegiku figure or a Kakita figure. So let me look up Kakita, see what we get. Kakita. Kakita. Not as much. There's not as much here. I think Kakita is a nice name. Let me try Kajita. What if we do Kajita? So Kajita. Okay. We get a little bit more fan art with that. I like Kajita better because it's more balanced when it comes to the letters and the name between Goku and Vegeta. I like Kakita better. That's what I would do. Writing it. That's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. That design's kind of sick. But yeah, man. Obviously, we're getting a new fusion. We're obviously getting a new fusion. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There shouldn't be any doubt about that because why introduce the fusion bugs if you're not going to give us a new fusion? No, that Vegeta and Piccolo, Bulma are all coming into the demon world later on. There is going to be an opportunity for them to fuse. Why not? Why? Why introduce the idea of a new fusion if you're not going to have it play out later? Obviously, this is foreshadowing for a fusion. This is, and it's not even subtle. It is blatant foreshadowing. It is Toei. It is Toriyama. All the people involved in creating this are like, there's a new fusion. They're putting it right in your face. New fusion. New fusion. New fusion. There's a fusion coming. So we're gonna get a new fusion. It's probably gonna be a new fusion character. It's gonna be new toys. And again, I think it's going to be very similar to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Because if you look, Dragon Ball Daima has again been doing a lot of callbacks to GT. A lot of callbacks to GT. Obviously, Goku being a kid again. This idea of like this more serious character, uh, you know, teaming up with Goku is kind of like Trunks in GT with Goku. Just I guess Shin would be the new name. That's that's kind of weird. Um, but I guess he's the new fan. I don't. They were on a plane, which is in a spaceship, but like the spaceship in GT, this time they're on a plane. They're just going to this new place. And then you have a new set of Dragon Balls, man. And let's go ahead and jump into that. Let's go ahead and jump into the stuff that we find out about the Dragon Balls. This is actually going to tie into what I was talking about with Fusion. Um, so of course we have the three Dragon Balls of the Demon Realm. And at first, when Goku finds out that there's Demon Realm Dragon Balls, he's like, "Oh, it might be fun to gather them and find them." And he's like, "This could be a cool adventure." And Glorio's like, "Well, no one's ever actually been able to claim the Dragon Balls. Like everybody knows where they are. There's no finding them, but they're guarded by the what was it, the Tagami or uh, Tamaga, whatever the hell, the giant robot statues, guarded by those things." And you have to beat those things. You have to fight those things in order to claim the Dragon Balls. And no one's ever been able to do it. Goku is probably going to challenge those things at some point. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to challenge those things at some point because he's Goku and he loves a good fight. So we're going to see him fight those things. And he's probably going to claim the Dragon Balls, and we're going to see the Demon Realm Dragon summon. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Now, the thing is, though, when it comes to this concept of these guardians of the Demon Realm Dragon Balls, this is where I think the need for fusion might come in because and how Toriyama would it be if what ultimately ends up happening is that these three guardian statues, these three guardian robots protecting the Dragon Balls, they're all defeated by Goku's new Super Saiyan Demon or Super Saiyan Primal or Super Saiyan Uzaru, whatever the hell you want to call it, Super Saiyan 4 canon form. Goku transforms into that to beat these guardians individually. But then the Guardians, after they've been defeated individually, what happens? They pull the most Toriyama Japanese shit and they fuse together into a freaking Megazord. Okay? They fuse together into a freaking demon robot Megazord. Screw it, man. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we get this demon robot Megazord. Demon Megazord. Okay. They fuse together. And it's too much for even Super Saiyan Primal Goku and Vegeta to handle. Individually, we cannot defeat this demon Megazord. So what do we have to do? Dog, we have to fuse. Vegeta, eat this bug. Get up and eat this bug with me, Vegeta. And Goku and Vegeta, they share a bug. They eat a bug together on some Lady and the Tramp stuff with the spaghetti noodle. Like, fuck it, bro. That's what they do. All right. And, and so they fuse together into Super Saiyan Primal Vegaku or Super Saiyan Primal Kakita. And they fight the Fusion Demon Megazord. And it's cool and it's awesome and it's badass. And then let's take it a step higher. All right. Not only do they fuse into this Fusion Super Saiyan Primal Vegaku or Kakita, but then they figure out how to become a giant Uzaru hybrid version of Super Saiyan Primal. And so you have a giant monkey, a giant Fusion Saiyan monkey demon fighting a giant fusion demon Megazord for the Demon Realm Dragon Balls, and it's on some huge kaiju shit. You think I'm crazy, and maybe I am crazy, but would that not be freaking badass? Would that not be cool? I think it'd be a lot cooler than fighting freaking Goma, this little freaky imp dude. Oh my god, this this guy this guy right here does not look like a freaking threat at all. But you get the Fusion Demon Megazord. Now that's a threat, man. Uh, Fuck, what are the robots called? Dragon Ball, Daima. Yeah, the Tamagamis. There we go. That's what they're called, the Tamagamis. Yeah, they're gonna turn to a freaking giant demon Megazord, bro. Fusion Demon Megazord fighting Fusion Demon Saiyan Monkey. All right, that's what's gonna happen, man. And it's gonna be cool, and it's gonna be badass, and it's gonna be hype, and we're gonna be freaking out, man. That's what's gonna happen. That would be so cool, man. Oh my goodness, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That's what I'm predicting. That's what I want to happen. All right, that's what I want to see. I think that would be so cool, man. I think that would be so cool to see something like that happen. And it sounds so Toriyama. It sounds so Japanese for something like that to happen. It'd be crazy. It'd be wild. Don't you want to see it? Giant fusion demon Megazord versus giant fusion demon Saiyan monkey. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. So we actually have to get to the rest of this episode. So after they fly on the Sky Sea, they end up in this other town, and they're thinking about restocking on supplies. Let me grab a drink real quick. My throat's getting dry, bro. My throat's getting dry. I'm like Goku in this episode. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty, man. I've been wandering in the desert. I'm thirsty. So they end up going to this other town. They end up finding this other town. Goku's getting a drink, and then they hear like some commotion going on. And what they find is you have Goma's little henchman, Goma's little stooge, his army, his soldiers are collecting a tribute from this town. And obviously, this is the third demon world. They're all pretty poor. They don't have a lot to give. And apparently, the tribute is very stiff, man. It's very high. It's been increased. Everybody must once a year give tribute of 3 gold coins per person as tribute to King Goma. And they're like, man, we don't have this stuff. And one dude even tries to flee. He's like, I ain't got that much money. I can't pay that as tribute. He tries to flee, and then he's captured. He's attacked, and they explain, well, if you don't give us the if you don't give us the 3 gold coins, then what's going to end up happening is we're going to take some of your life force. And so this was really dark, man. This kind of reminded me of like Cell levels of like disturbing, not gonna lie. So they explained that for every gold coin that you're lacking in tribute, so if you can't give 3 coins, then for every coin that you're missing, you have to give up 3 years of your life, and they literally drain you of your life force. So if you're missing 1 coin, you have to give up 3 years. If you're missing 2 coins, 6 years. All 3 coins, you have to go up 9 years of your lifespan. And if you try to run away, if you try to escape, if you try to hide, it's an extra 10 years on top of those 9 years. So you'd have to give up 19 years of your lifespan as tribute instead of 3 gold coins. What the hell? That's pretty dark, man. Like that's pretty dark. I mean, that's some Cell level of disturbing when you think about it. And yeah, man, like they have this machine where they literally drain your life force and it takes away from your lifespan. Kind of reminds me of Big Mom from One Piece, where she can like steal years off of your life. And the question you have to ask is, what are they doing with this life energy? Like, why is that so important? Why is Goma taking life energy? Why does he want that? And it's not. I mean, obviously, we're going to find out later. It's not explained in this episode, but that's really messed up, dude. That's sick. They're literally draining people of their life, and it gets really disturbing too because there's one guy that pops up. He's an old man. He's an old man demon, and he's like, he's only got 1 gold coin, so he's only able to pay 1 gold coin, which means they're gonna have to take 6 years off of his lifespan instead. And he's like, "Please, I'm begging you, don't do this. I promise. I'll give you more next year. I'll pay more next year. Please don't do this because I'm an old man. If you take any more lifespan from me, I could die." And I'm thinking to myself, "Holy shit." Like, they take 6 years off his life, he could die right there on the spot in front of everybody. And it's like, "Whoa." Like, that's really messed up. But thankfully for this old dude, we have a character in a mask jumping in to save him. Goku was about to jump in. Goku was about to jump in and save this guy. But instead we have this girl in a mask popping up to save him, right? And I'm trying to find a good image of her in the mask. Her in the mask. Where is she? Where is she in the mask? We know what she looks like unmasked, but I'm trying to find her in the mask. There we go. So this girl pops up wearing this mask. She ends up saving this dude, and the soldiers are going after her. She's now a fugitive. She's a criminal. Goku steps in to defend her, and Goku's fighting off the soldiers and everything. And so Goku and Glorio and Shin and Pansy, they all have to escape. And now Goku is a fugitive. So at this point, Goma, who obviously was wary of Goku and his friends because they defeated Boo, uh, he is like now Goku is a fugitive. Goku's like at this point, Goma's going to be aware. Okay, Goku's in the demon world, and Goku's like interfering with my shit. He's interfering with my rule. He's interfering with my reign. So now I gotta get this Saiyan monkey, right? I gotta get this monkey. All right, on some Frieza shit. Goku's a fugitive. Goku's gonna become enemy number one. So I will say, like this episode really reminded me of the first planet that they revived. They revived the first planet that they visit in GT during the Black Star Dragon Ball saga. During the Black Star Dragon Ball saga, they go to this. I think it was called a Mecha or something like that. I forget the exact name of it. Um, but they go to this planet and like they become fugitives. Like you see wanted posters of Goku, of Trunks, and Pan, and everybody's out to get them. They're fugitives, right? They're fugitives. This episode kind of reminded me of that same scenario. So now they're fugitives, and everybody's gonna be looking for Goku and his friends. Good job, Goku. But I mean, come on, like we knew, like I would hope everybody would do the same thing because still in the life of an old man is really messed up, screwed up. He could have died. Obviously, Goma's a tyrant. Goma needs to be taken down, man. He needs to go. He absolutely needs to go. So Goku's a fugitive, and then at the end of the episode, Pansy takes her mask off, and like we've seen her in the trailers. Like she's been one of the most prominent characters in the trailers. But now she's finally coming to the episode. I thought she might come in a little bit sooner. Like I thought she might come in the last episode, but that didn't happen. She popped in this episode. And at the very end of the episode, but now Pansy's been introduced, and again, she's going to be one of the main characters of this series. But she's brave for her age, and I do wonder, like, is she actually a kid? Like, is she actually a kid, or is she older than she looks? Because we all know anime does that sometimes, right? In fact, let me just go ahead and look up the wiki article on her, see what it has to say about her. Pansy, also known as Masked Majin, is a demon swordsman from the demon realm who accompanies Goku and Shin on their journey. She's a young girl, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about her age. But she could be older than she looks. She could be older than she looks. Um, I don't know, like for her age, she's pretty brave. But then again, Goku, when he was obviously Goku's not really a kid, he's just been turned into a kid. But even Goku at his age is obviously pretty brave. Like it would be the first time we've had these brave heroes. And I do wonder if Goku and Pansy are gonna kind of bond a little bit as well, because she seems to be pretty heroic. She was jumping in and saving innocent people and stuff, fighting the bad guys, similar to how Goku was when he was a kid. And I wonder if she's kind of like the kid Goku character of the demon world, of the demon realm, to where she's going around and she's fighting all these villains and stuff. Like does she have her own Red Ribbon Army she's fighting? Is Goma her King Piccolo? Like I don't know, but like I'm interested. Like I'm interested, and I kind of want to see like if like I could see Goku and Pansy having some bonding moments depending on her personality. I kind of get the feeling she might be very Goku esque. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Could be completely wrong, but the vibe I'm getting is that she could be very Goku esque. I think. I think. But yeah, that's the episode, man. That's pretty much the episode. Dragon Ball Daima episode 4. In the next episode preview, there's not like very long previews in this show, like in previous series, but in the next episode preview, let's see if I can actually pull it up. It does give us something to speculate on, and that is, let's see if it actually pulls it up. Yeah, see, people are going crazy over the fusion stuff, man. You got Vegito, you got Gogeta. I think it's going to be a new character. I think we're going to get like a Vegiku or a Kakita. I think we're going to get one of those. I think we're going to get one of those. Let's see here. Is trying to find like the preview because there's one image from the preview. I think that might be it right there. I need to zoom in on. Oh no, right here. Right here is a good image of it. Yeah, right here. So we get this image of some kind of character in shadow, some kind of character in silhouette. And at this point, now I'm thinking this might be the king of the third demon world. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is the king of the third demon world right here. I thought it was like the dude with the sky seed last episode, but no, I think it could be this guy. I think this could be the king of the third demon world. And it's interesting. Like I want to say dude is good. I want to say he's a good dude. I want to say he's a good man. I want to say that he's wanting to overthrow Goma because Goma's going to be a freaking tyrant and he doesn't want that shit demon world. Understandable. But at the same time, there has been some hints that there may be more to Gloria, this king of the third demon world, than what is being let on. And that is, Gloria is obviously keeping some secrets. He's got work in the first demon world. Doesn't really go into detail on that in episode, what was it? Yeah, it was episode 3. Like, he didn't really go into that. Shin is very questionable about Glorio. He's like, it's kind of like the LA Noir meme where it's like press X to doubt. um, Obviously, Shin doesn't completely trust Glorio. He suspects that Glorio's holding out information, telling them everything, has his own secrets, and it may tie into the King of the Third Demon world. Like the King of the Third Demon world, I know a lot of people are thinking like he may be a good guy, but he could be shady too. Like there could be a lot of morally gray area. And remember, like this this series has been described as being a very political series in terms of like kings, rulers, and the politics of the demon world. Some have even described it as being kind of like the Game of Thrones of Dragon Ball. So there may not be any like purely good characters here. Um, it may end up being a situation where there's only shades of morally gray. So this guy may not be completely on the level. And same thing with Glorio. Even though I do think Glorio in the end is going to ultimately be a good guy, he may do some shady shit in the meantime. Again, I think very Han Solo esque to where he's basically a jerk ass with a heart of gold, a scoundrel with a heart of gold. That's the vibe that I get from Glorio, to where yeah, he's probably done some shady stuff, probably still is doing some shady stuff, may not have the best motivations, but at the end of the day, in his deepest core, in the depths of his heart, in his heart of hearts, in his kingdom hearts, he's actually a good guy. All right, that's the feeling I get with Glorio. Pansy, I think, just may straight up be a good person based on what we saw in this episode, but we'll see. And then the king of the third demon world, who knows? Like, we may find out like he could be evil as shit. Maybe he's worse than Goma. I don't know. Goma right now, especially after what we've seen in this episode, where he's literally stealing away the life force of the citizens of the demon world if they can't pay up the money. That's messed up. I mean, that's really, 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 really messed up, man. Really messed up. So we'll have to see how it turns out, but I think we might be meeting the king of the third demon world in the next episode. Now, that being said, a couple of things that I do want to get out of the way. This episode wasn't perfect. I liked this episode. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the fight at the end with Goma's soldiers. I thought that was really, really good. Pansy, I think, had a great introduction. Goma is set up to be just a total dick. I mean, like, I want to see this dude taken down now, hardcore, straight up. He needs to go. Absolutely. So they really did a good job of making me hate Goma. But this episode is not perfect. The big thing, the big flaw for me is, why didn't they bring up instant transmission as far as like traveling through the demon world? There is no mention of that. And again, like, if they want to give some excuse as to why Goku can't use it, fine. But you actually need to bring that up. Otherwise, you're going to have the audience and fans like me bringing it up instead, questioning it. And if you don't give us an answer, you've got a plot hole. You've got a big plot hole. That's not good. So I do think they really need to address that. I don't know why they didn't address that in this episode where they're specifically talking about travel. That should have been addressed in this episode. Other than that, obviously the big thing is the fusion. And so let me actually go all the way back to our thumbnail, since we're about to wrap it up here. And holy shit. Oh crap. Okay, I lost my thumbnail. I'm gonna have to bring that up again. My bad. Tell what that. We'll just bring up another image. It'll be fine. We don't have to go back to the thumbnail. No, this is fine. This is fine. This is a nice. Oh, this is a nice thumbnail. I don't know who did this, but this is a nice thumbnail. But yeah, like even this person agrees. Like, it's just, I don't know who this is, but we're gonna clip over to their video real quick. Hold up.
Guys, welcome back to.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is. 217,000 subscribers. This guy must be big. I'm gonna check him out. Yo, SS Jutsu. Go check him out. I'm gonna check him out after we're done with this episode. Yeah. This guy might be big. Okay. Anyways, so like even he agrees that it's going to be a new fusion. It's not going to be Gochita. It's not going to be Vegito. It's a new fusion method, so it's got to give us a new fusion character. Again, me and Andrew from XP Comics, we were talking about this at DMs. He thinks it's going to be Vegiku. I think it's going to be Kakita. I'm cool with both. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to get a new fusion. And for people saying, oh, it's not going to happen. Guys, come on. Come on, man. Like, this is not even subtle foreshadowing. It's blatant, obvious, in your face foreshadowing. Why introduce the concept of a new form of fusion if you're not actually going to use it at some point? It's going to happen. It's the same thing with all the hints that we're getting about a Super Saiyan 4 type of form, an Uzaru Saiyan hybrid form. All right. You got the pointy ears from the Uzaru. Shin gives Goku pointy ears. They talk about in the first episode, like they speculate, Goma and Degasu speculate, like, could these guys be from talking about the Saiyans? Could they be from the demon realm? They specifically address the ears. The ears, they don't know about the Uzaru having pointy ears. It's not just foreshadowing, it's blatant foreshadowing. They were going to get some kind of Super Saiyan 4-esque form. We're going to get some kind of new fusion because of the fusion bugs. And I'm telling you right now, bro, I want to see it. I want to see the Demon Realm Dragon Ball Guardian robots. I want to see them fuse together into a giant Megazord fusion demon robot thing. Giant fusion demon Megazord versus giant fusion demon Saiyan monkey. All right. You cannot tell me that would not be cool. That would be awesome, man. I want to see it now. I've got to see it. I got to see it. So if this episode did nothing else, man, it got me excited. It got me hyped for that alone. I mean, like, it's gonna be cool. Like, it's gonna be cool. Like, Daima is setting up a lot of cool stuff. First of all, Daima has just been a great series in of itself. Like the vibe, the art style, the feeling, all of it, man. Everything about Daima has just felt like old school Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and especially Dragon Ball GT. And it's really felt good. Like, I like the vibes of this series more than I do Dragon Ball Super. Just keeping it 100. Just keeping it 100. Like, this is really, really fun stuff. I'm loving this series so far. Another fun episode. My only complaint with it is the plot hole with instant transmission. Like, that's the big stain on the episode. That's the big complaint. But the fusion stuff gets me hyped, man, and I can't wait to see it. Looking forward to episode 5, where we might get to see the King of the Third Demon World, and I'm interested in finding out more about Pansy. But I'm really excited for the fusion, man. The fusion, oh my god, dude! Demon, Saiyan, Monkey fusion. Let's go, man. That sounds awesome. All right, so I think that's gonna wrap it up. We're about to hit the 1 hour mark. I know Andrew can't hop in. Ruby King was talking about hopping in, but I don't really have much else to say, man, at this point. So I don't want to drag out the stream for too long. Pretty much covered all the points that I wanted to go through in this episode. I think we're gonna. I feel like, especially if the third Demon King is going to be introduced in the next episode, I feel like we're going to get some more. I think we're going to start explaining some stuff about, like, the politics of the demon world, what is actually going to happen. Like, we're gonna start getting into more the Game of Thrones aspects of it, and like why does the third Demon King want Goku and his friends? Like, why is he interested in them? What does he want them for? We've been told it's to overthrow Goma. Like, could it be more than that? Like, Glorio's hiding something, man. He's hiding something. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We may find out in the next episode, but there's a lot of really cool stuff here hyping us up. Pansy, Super Saiyan, Demon, Monkey fusion, possibly. Let's go, man. Let's go. Giant fusion demon Megazord. Let's go, man. Let's go. And I'm just there's just so much that's being set up here that's, like, really exciting. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Another great episode of Daima. Still loving it. Still looking forward to the next one. Um, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I know that I believe it's November 10th. Actually, let me look that up real quick. Is it November 10th? Let me look that up real quick. Dragon Ball Daima English dub release. I believe it's November 10th. Yes, it will be released in U.S. theaters from November 10th to November 12th. I'm going to try and check that out. Hopefully it'll be at my local theater. If not, I know a couple of bigger theaters it'll probably be at for sure. But definitely looking forward to that, man. Definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. I'm going to go check it out in theaters. I have been there to see every single new Dragon Ball Super film, starting with Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, Broly, Superhero in theaters. And even though this isn't a movie, I'm still going to go check this shit out in theaters, man. And I'll be giving my review on that as well. Of course, we're gonna keep going with the Japanese version because it's just further ahead. It just makes sense, and I don't want to be talking about old information. But I'm gonna give my review of the premiere of Daima. It's gonna be the first 3 episodes. I'm gonna give my opinion of that, obviously. But yeah, I'll see you guys for episode 5. I'll see you guys for the English dub premiere, and for the next one. This is JeskerJames with the Z, and I signing out.